Hey guys, and welcome to One of a Kind Reviews. I am Paul.
And I am Dale.
And this is last week number 3.
If you mess with me, you got no chance. No chance in hell, you got no chance.
Alright, and starting the week off with Raw, we had a Roman Reigns and Stephanie McMahon segment. Essentially, Stephanie came out, and then as she was coming down the entrance ramp, Roman Reigns interrupted.
Yeah, Stephanie didn't even get to talk,
No.
which was well done, Roman,
Good
I guess.
stuff.
We don't have to listen to screamy Stephanie McMahon, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
So basically, she was, going on what Vince said last week about, Roman's family, and he was talking about Roman's father, Sika, and then Roman said, well, you shouldn't be worried about my father, I should be worrying about your father, because of the special guest ref match, obviously, later in the night. And, yeah,
That was pretty much all that segment had to offer.
exactly. So, it was okay.
Yep, we then moved on to a match between Kevin Owens and Neville, rematch from last week's Raw, which was rather disappointing.
Thank fuck he won.
Yeah, no shit, absolutely destroyed fucking Neville.
Yeah, it was somewhat of a bad
As in, yeah, we meant destroyed him as in the end.
Yeah, very much he destroyed him. He seriously, Neville looks like he's going to get a concussion every time he takes the
I'm more
pop-up
thinking
helmet.
broken back.
That, but serious injury.
Because he doesn't land flat back.
No, he doesn't. He kind of gets the whiplash effect on it as well, which looks even more impressive with his hair.
He really does.
So, theatrical thumbs up there for Neville. Well done. And thank God Owens won.
Yep, we then, because Dean Ambrose was on commentary for said match, we then had Ambrose driving Owens through a table with a very weak elbow drop.
Yeah, he got about this much height above the announcement table.
Yeah, and kind of just softly land on you.
Yes, enjoy my armpit on your face.
That was probably the worst part about it, the smell.
Yeah, probably. And it boggles my mind to think that there's been power bombs and RKOs and stuff that just haven't broken the table.
They've been powerbomb RKOs.
Yes, exactly, that haven't broken the table. And fucking just this tiny little elbow and the table just
table
caved.
explodes.
Absolutely caved. But yeah, moving on.
Yep, moving on, we had a very, very unfortunate match. We saw Stardust taking on Titus O'Neil. Don't even want to talk about this.
Okay, well, I kind of want to talk about this a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So what we said off camera, right?
Yeah.
Is that essentially, with the passing of Dusty Rhodes and stuff recently, obviously everyone was kind of thinking that Cody Rhodes or Stardust, whatever he was, under at the time, was going to get a significant push as a result. And I can, like we said, we can understand the company not shoving Stardust down our throats.
Which I honestly think is a good thing they didn't do that.
Yeah, but they're actually doing the opposite of that now.
Yeah, they're fucking just burying him completely.
He lost to Titus O'Neil on Raw for no particular reason,
And it's not
really.
the first time this has happened.
No.
Far from the first time he's lost to Titus.
Yeah, and not to mention just having matches on Raw and stuff. He generally loses every match he's in.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Unless it's against, Bo Dallas or something. So, yeah, he lost that match. Moving on.
Yep, we had a little friendly competition match between Charlotte and Becky Lynch. It was actually a pretty decent match. Pretty solid.
It was a lot better than every other encounter they've had in
Oh,
the
yeah,
past.
without a doubt.
Apart from NXT, we'll say.
Yeah.
Because NXT, something's
I
just
can agree with
better.
Well, yeah, we ended up having Becky Lynch get the win in this one, thankfully. After a little bit of a roll-up and grabbing of the
Yeah,
tights.
had a bit of tights.
Yeah.
Took a page out of Ric Flair's book, and he seemed really unhappy, and then started swinging his jacket around like he was really happy, which made no sense.
Yep, made absolutely no sense.
Drunk Ric Flair again, I think. I think just every time he's appeared in
yeah.
the last month, drunk Ric Flair.
That's pretty obvious.
Like I said, he's kind of looking a bit like a corpse now.
Yep.
So, moving on. So we had a Ryback take on the Big Show.
What do you want to say about this?
Nothing.
What do you fucking do, Basil?
No one ever wants to say anything about this match, ever. It was a no contest.
We'll leave it at that. Actually, no, we won't leave it at that because the Wyatt family actually were the reason it was a no contest.
And that is the only remotely interesting thing about this segment, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they made the Wyatt family look strong, which is the only good thing to ever come out of a Ryback Big Show match. So, well done. Moving on.
Yeah, we then had a tag team match which saw two members of the League of Nations, which were Del Rio and Rusev, taking on the Usos. I mean, it was a pretty average tag match. I mean, there was nothing special.
No.
Thankfully, you had the League of Nations go over in this one. I'm actually glad to see that happen.
Yeah, and the only time I've ever liked the look of Del Rio's little like double foot stomp.
Yeah.
Because was it Jay or Jimmy Uso that was caught up in the ropes?
I think it was Jay.
He was caught up in like on the second rope.
Yeah.
It just looked so much better like that.
It really did.
Like, rather than the whole, like, I'm just going to awkwardly hang here and wait.
And at the same time, they set one up earlier, like the normal one, and he was actually going to take it how it should be taken.
Yeah, well, I can't fault the Usos on that one. They made Del Rio look, good, because he is good. Just everyone else makes him look like shit. But, so Del Rio won that one for the League of Nations.
Yep. We then had Dolph Ziggler taking on Heath Slater, which I thought was a bit strange to start off with, but we then got the reasons why that happened.
Yeah, really, really weird faction being formed. That's the reason.
Yep, Job Squad 2.0.
So it consisted of Bo Dallas, Adam Rose, Heath Slater, and...
I can't even remember now.
See, that's how important this was.
Who else was it? There was one more.
I know there was one more. I'm really, really blanking on who it was.
Curtis Axel.
Curtis Axel.
That's who it was. No wonder we couldn't remember him.
Because he's been fucking missing for God knows how long. That actually trended on Twitter.
Well, he's been missing ever since that, the whole sex tape thing came out and he got... Oh, wait, sorry, that's someone else.
It's kind of funny that it actually trended on Twitter. Like, where is Axel? That trended on Twitter.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's fucking awesome.
That is awesome.
But, so, don't know what they're going to do with that, if anything.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know, they just try to build up another four-man faction to feud with all of their other four-man factions.
But do you really see them being a viable threat against the Wyatt family?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I guess if you put four jobbers together, they're a little bit more...
Mega jobber.
They're a little bit more menacing than just individual jobbers. Doesn't make a difference, really. But
it really doesn't,
yeah. No. Moving on to the next segment, which was a little bit weird.
It was.
So the New Day were doing their whole, it's a new year and we have a surprise for everyone. And we're still waiting for what the surprise was.
What is the surprise?
I wanted to see that, and I was very disappointed in kind of what we got, and probably people will think that's a bit weird that I was disappointed.
Yeah, they'll probably think it's strange, but
anyway, so it got down to they were doing a countdown from 10 or whatever, and it got down to 5, and then pretty much Jericho's weird lit up around the edges numbers countdown thing started, and I was immediately like, why are you back, Jericho?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
And they're all making a big deal Jericho's back. He worked a match 4 months ago.
If that, yeah.
Yeah. So back.
Yeah, back.
He's
and then
TV again.
And then to make matters even more ridiculous, he wasn't even in the preceding 6-man tag match.
Yeah, which really made no sense, to be honest. Which if you've got Jericho at Raw, and you're gonna have a multi-man tag match after his return.
You'd think you'd put him in it.
Yeah, put him in the fucking match.
But nope, instead we got the New Day taking on Kalisto and the Dudleys.
Alright, I guess. It was a New Day match, so New Day were fantastic as always.
And they got the victory, which was always good to see.
Yay.
Can never complain about that.
Yep, and so to finish off Raw, we had the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match.
Indeed we did.
Between Sheamus and Roman Reigns, with Vince McMahon as the special guest referee.
Who, might I add, embarrassed both the other two men in the ring with just the fact that he outsized both of them.
The sleeveless ref shirt, really,
I knew that was going to happen.
Really works for you, Vince, really works for you.
It does.
It's very weird. He has kind of his face has aged a lot more than
Yeah.
anything else.
As I said, I feel like he's been cryogenically frozen from the neck down since he's about 40.
Yeah, because he's just absolutely ripped for a 70-year-old. How fucked is it to think, like, 70-year-old people are usually in around, like, you know, around that age they're going into, like, nursing homes and that kind of thing.
I thought my 70-year-old grandfather was in good shape because he walks around the block every day. God damn.
Vince McMahon could kick my ass.
Oh, no shit. He'd kick my ass 10 times over.
He could, like, we could gather all of our friends together and he'd probably still kick our ass.
Yeah, probably.
And that's really, like, impressive/embarrassing.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the match.
Yeah, I mean, the match itself, it was pretty much what you expect from a, special ref match where the ref's, partial to one side.
Yeah, he wasn't subtle about that at all.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't subtle about his, being partial to Sheamus.
Oh, he was about to count a 3 for Roman and then he got something in his eye.
Oh, yeah.
I actually loved that bit.
Me too.
To be
It was
honest,
great.
it was great. But, yeah, so after a while, Roman Reigns got fed up with his shenanigans
Yep.
and punched him in the face.
Again.
As you do to 70-year-old men. And then, so we had Scott Armstrong come out after that as, like, the secondary dodgy ref.
Yep, which that didn't work too well either.
No, he also got punched in the face.
Yes, he did.
And then just random fucking official came out to count the 3 for Roman Reigns.
Yep, and we had Roman retain. It was more the announcement after this match that kind of surprised everyone. To be fair, I wasn't expecting it, but not exactly a fan of the idea either.
It wasn't a good surprise.
So, not a good surprise.
Yeah, Vince McMahon announced that the World Heavyweight Championship will be defended in the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Okay, so, like, pretty much, unless they change their plans drastically, what I would assume that we both think is that they're going to waste another Rumble on making Roman look strong.
Yeah. Which we don't want.
Doesn't need to happen.
No. If they do that again this year, it's going to be fucking 15 times worse than last year.
Yeah, I don't...
Not even The Rock could even come close to saving the reaction that he'll get.
I don't understand, like, what is the problem with Roman Reigns just hanging onto the title, like, and defending it at the Royal Rumble against Sheamus, I guess.
Yeah, or someone... Surely there's someone else you could throw in there.
Just someone, and then retain, and then fucking build up a feud with the Royal Rumble winner and Roman Reigns.
Exactly.
Like, it's not exactly what we want, but this is so far from what we want. So, yeah, capped off Raw with that fantastic news.
Now, moving on to SmackDown, we had the official announcement of the new commentator for SmackDown.
Thank God.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was really good to see because I was really getting sick of Rich Brennan.
Yeah, and so his name is Mauro Ranallo.
Yep, he's apparently not combat sport announcing veteran.
Yeah, he used to commentate the Pride fights in Pride Championship, Fighting Championship or whatever.
Yep. He also did a lot of kickboxing and things like that, and Strikeforce.
Yeah, and apparently he worked New Japan for a while.
Apparently he worked a little bit of New Japan in his early days.
So, he's got experience, is the point. And he doesn't sound like a dickhead.
No, he's got a unique voice, the voice that suits, and he's good at putting people over.
Yeah, he's good at putting people over for one, and he knows what moves are called.
Yeah, exactly.
He actually knows what's going on.
He called the fucking, what was it,
it was a pump handle...
Exploder suplex.
Which is like a hybrid of two moves, and it was the perfect way you could have called that.
Yeah, that was exactly what the move was.
And that's not even really a move. It's just kind of like a hybrid of two moves, like I said. So, well done, man. Knowledge.
Exactly.
Knowledge right there. So, yeah, that was a good way to kick off SmackDown and kind of, hopes up for the rest of the show.
Yep.
Then we had Cena come out and call out Alberto Del Rio and tell him that, on the premiere of SmackDown on the USA Network, that the US champion should be defending his belt.
Yep.
And then he said he would fight anyone, but he wouldn't fight Cena. So then we had a match between Del Rio and Kalisto.
Which, surprisingly, was really good. It wasn't for the title or anything.
I wouldn't say surprisingly. Kalisto's
Oh yeah,
good.
not surprisingly. Del Rio worked really stiff in this match. We did notice.
Yeah, like beyond stiff, like very stiff for WWE.
He worked like
standards.
JBL level of stiff.
Yeah, it was good to see, to be honest.
was,
It made
yeah.
the match more interesting. But
No doubt.
we had Kalisto go over in that one with just a quick Hurricane Rana roll-up
Yep,
thing
which
that
is
he does.
yeah, which is quite obviously setting up him to go for the United States Championship.
Which is
now,
good.
Yeah, now that Cena's injured, which I'm glad.
You're glad
No.
he's injured.
I'm glad that they're giving Kalisto the push.
Right.
I'm glad they're not just giving it to like Ryback or someone like that.
Yeah, well, very true.
Someone who's
So,
actually deserving is finally getting a push.
It did kind of like annoy me a little bit that like Cena introduced him. Fair enough, like introduce him or whatever. But once the match starts, fuck off, John.
Yeah, Cena stayed at ringside the whole fucking match. When Kalisto won, Cena seemed more excited.
Yeah, that, along with the fact that if there was any participation from the crowd during the match, it was "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks."
Yeah,
And he's not even in the match.
fucking hell.
He's just standing there. What are you chanting for him to go? Like, he's not doing anything.
Go and stand there. You're doing a great job at standing there.
Like, "Let's go Cena," as in, like, go.
Yeah, go away.
Go Cena. But, yeah, moving on. We had quite a funny Miz TV segment, to be
Yes,
honest.
we did. We
The
did.
Royal Rumble special.
Yep, with a bunch of different Royal Rumble entrants coming out and pretty much making their case of they're going to win the Rumble kind of thing.
Yeah, and The Miz couldn't even fucking control his own show.
Couldn't control it at all.
He just kind of cracked the shits. Like, every time someone's music hit. Which, I mean, fair enough. If it was your show and people kept interrupting you, then yeah.
Yep, we had another hilarious R-Truth moment. This time, because back in the earlier promo where Cena was saying that, you know, he was pretty much insinuating that Del Rio should put his title on the line in a sort of open challenge. Well then, R-Truth thought he'd come out and accept said open challenge that had already happened apparently.
Just like 2 segments late. Like, but, yeah, so, just a little R-Truth moment there. It's apparently his career now. That's what he does.
Yeah, apparently so.
Just awkward
And
moments.
then everyone in the ring gathered up for a big 8-man tag.
Yeah, it was a Teddy Long special.
Yep, Teddy Long special.
Yeah. So Ziggler ended up going over The Miz, I believe, in this
Yep.
one.
And we
Super
saw a
kick.
little bit of a change of attitude in Dolph. He kind of super kicked and threw everyone out around him.
Yeah, and he decided that he's gonna be like the new member of like Motley Crue or something.
I think you might be right. Maybe Twisted Sister.
Yeah, with like his crazy long blonde straightened hair that he's got now.
Looks a bit ridiculous.
You look like a fuckwit, Dolph. Don't do it. Do not do it. Anyway, yeah, so then after that we had Divas title match. It was Charlotte taking on Becky Lynch.
Yep, and as I predicted from the start, we had some shenanigans via Ric Flair once again.
Because, of course, why else would you have Ric Flair at ringside?
There's always shenanigans with Ric Flair.
Yeah, so Charlotte ended up winning this one with, you know, your general heel tactics.
Yeah, I mean, Becky
again.
Lynch looked like she was going to get the victory. She had the disarmer locked in, and then Ric Flair put Charlotte's foot on the rope. Charlotte tapped, you know, that sort of crap.
It called for the bell and then was just like, your foot's on the rope. Shit. How did that happen?
I don't know, maybe Rick?
It's ironically where Rick's standing. That might have something to do with it.
Possibly, yeah.
But, yeah, obviously that's kind of building towards a Divas title match at the Rumble.
Yep.
So hopefully Becky goes over.
That'd be brilliant.
I think we're all kind of a bit sick of Charlotte.
I agree.
Moving on.
Yep, we had the main event of the night, which was an Intercontinental Championship match. Saw Ambrose defending against Kevin Owens.
Yeah, so, probably the standout match of the
yeah.
show.
Without a doubt. The match itself, I mean, it was, you know, pretty common match to see on SmackDown. But the little brawl they had after the match was quite impressive.
Yeah, so if you count the whole segment together, it was definitely the highlight of SmackDown.
Yep.
And, yeah, so obviously building towards a street fight or a falls count anywhere.
Hopefully
or...
some sort of street fight scene, as they had no stipulation at TLC.
Well, I have a feeling just because of the, you know, the brawl all over the arena type thing, that they'll probably go with like a falls count anywhere type stipulation.
Yeah, well,
so.
Those matches are always the forte of Mr. Owens and Mr. Ambrose.
Yes, well, that is just like their wheelhouse right there.
It really is.
So, yeah, hopefully that happens. So yeah, that capped off SmackDown. And on to our overall rating of the week. What would you give this week?
I think I'll give it a C minus. It wasn't a terrible week, but it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I was probably going to go with the C minus, but yeah, there was nothing exciting this week.
Yeah,
Really.
nothing at all really.
And when you look at the actual individual things, like there was a WWE World Heavyweight title match, there was an IC title match, there was a Divas title match.
There was a return.
Yeah, and we're saying that this week wasn't that great.
Because it wasn't.
Yeah,
It
and
really
with
wasn't.
with all those things, that you'd think that would just kind of bump the week up.
And that goes to show in our MVP of the week, which for this week we have chosen the new announcer for SmackDown, Mauro Ranallo.
Because he doesn't suck.
He doesn't. In fact, he's actually very good.
Yes, we like you. Well
Very
done.
good. Good stuff.
First-
And you turn Jerry Lawler heel.
Yeah, which is the only time he's even remotely useful.
Exactly.
So we'll see how that plays out in the whole like PG environment, but it should be interesting to see. It's better than him being Mr. like babyface Jerry Lawler.
Who doesn't seem like he gives a shit about his job.
No, because he probably doesn't.
I don't think he does.
He's getting paid.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Exactly.
Anyway, on to the jobber of the week. We probably both agree on this one too. Just because he couldn't keep control of his own fucking TV show.
Oh, and then proceeded to get pinned in the match straight after.
That too. The Miz is the jobber of the week.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
Yep, moving on to the piss break of the week. Quite obvious one here, Ryback versus The Big Show.
I think that's like the second time in 3 weeks
I think it
that
is.
they've won piss break of the week.
That's not an accomplishment, by the way. Don't
No.
be proud of that.
If you're watching,
I don't know why I put my thumbs up there.
If you're watching Ryback or Big Show, just step your game up because we don't like it.
I agree.
Yep. And on to match of the week. Probably go with Owens and Ambrose from SmackDown.
Yeah, I can agree with that. If you include the brawl at the end, then that without a doubt was probably the most enjoyable match of the week.
Yeah, and then like other than that, there was only really like the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match.
Yeah, and like the only reason to give it to that would be by default.
Yeah, because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of a bit of a subpar week this week.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Anyway, so that was the whole fucking show, guys. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on what you thought of this week, and we will see you next time for some more one-of-a-kind reviews.
Have a nice day.